Hello, all you wonderful Dragon Ball Super players. It is us, the Dragon Ball Super friends. It's been so long since we did this. Let's reintroduce ourselves, shall we? My name's Kevin.
Ben.
And the Jake.
Ooh, okay, we got a lot of great looking men in this room today.
Not to brag, but we're all good looking men in this room.
Oh,
right
okay.
now.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. So, we've been talking about doing this for how long now?
At least 4 months.
A while. It's been a while.
On and off, we were talking about it.
Yeah, since basically, I'm the one who actually just got back in recently.
Yes.
We, for our fans out there, we actually did a podcast for about 4 months back in August to October 2017 when Set 2 was out. Yeah,
Oh
I
my
think Set
God.
1 was like July of that year.
Yep.
What times have changed since we've been doing this, huh?
How many high times?
The highest of times, I hope.
Oh my goodness, 2 years.
2 years, yeah. I'm glad to be doing this back. How about you guys?
Yeah, it's good to be back again. Hopefully, some people will still remember us.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Honestly, I just feel like I'm just glad to be back with all my friends, just talking about the game that we love. And
Exactly. And I think it's just podcasts like these and, YouTube channels and stuff like that, no matter how big or small, it's just great to listen to advice and listen to what other people are thinking about the game instead of, just your own friend group, just because it broadens your horizons, in my humble opinion,
Yeah.
We can learn from you guys, you can learn from us. That's what the comment section is for.
Exactly.
And you can yell at me in person too, that's fine.
we discovered the interwebs and did find out there were some people who were looking for podcasts out there.
Yes, we
and
did see
here
that.
we come, kicking the door open.
Right down.
Like we're Freddy Krueger.
Yeah. Let's shout out a few things real quick. Team Silverstorm Gaming, Team Limit Breakers. Those are the homies, the fam.
The fams.
The fams. We won't name everybody because that would be a while.
Yeah.
Anyways, what have we been up to personally since, almost 3 years ago? Why were we gone? For me, personally, I got a new job and kept climbing up the ranks, and it started off really good and ended really rough, working 60 to 70 hour weeks and not having a life and getting underpaid. I'm not at that job anymore, so I have more time to hang with the homies, hang with the fellas, and play some Super. So that's what I've been excited about for a few months.
I was also working at the job that Kevin was working at, and then I kind of crashed and burned, and life got in the way, things happened, but we're back. That's all that matters.
2 years.
Mm-hmm.
2 years.
Over 2 years.
Over 2 years. Within that time, I drove for the first time.
Yes, yep.
Got my first apartment.
Shout out my man Jake doing big things.
Doing big things. Nah, it's alright. Being an adult is alright.
Yeah, it has its advantages, that's for sure.
Never stopped playing Dragon Ball Super. I've been playing since the first inception. Since the first Star Decks. Double Strike, Star Goku, Red Green
Yep, I
shenanigans.
remember that, yeah.
Then you had the Blue Goku
And
shenanigans.
Broly, Captain Ginyu.
Oh god.
Oh, yeah.
Oh god, yeah.
Shout out Jordan
Frieza,
Oracle.
Golden Frieza set 1.
Lemon Lime Frieza.
Oh man, yeah, Sprite Remix, baby.
That Blue Red Pan set 2.
I think I've only been back now, how long? 2 months?
Yeah, you left and then you came back just recently into
Yeah,
a
like 2
whole new
months.
fucking game.
Yeah, Set 10 came out. For those of you, I was on and off between sets 3 to 5, I want to say. And then after that, I read a couple cards, had no idea what anything did, and set 10 just came out. So, Unisons, aka Planeswalkers.
For
you
Magic
know,
fans.
Yes.
you mean
Those
yeah,
just
pretty
came
much.
out, and
Yep.
that I want to talk about that.
Unisons.
That because I know there's been a lot of mechanics that was introduced since I left. Arrival, Alliance. What was it? Aegis is what.
Aegis.
yeah.
Yep. You got
Yep.
that. Yeah. Invoker. You got a bunch of
Invoker. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff I missed.
a
so
lot
I'm
of keywords.
Right. Rival.
I'm catching up. The newest for me though. which is-
Successor? How can we forget Successor?
Oh, Successor. Yeah. Wow. And now we got Unisons, which are taking this game by storm. I think. You can't really look at a deck list without seeing some kind of Unison in there. Right?
Not anymore.
I mean, the set just came out, or they just came out recently, right?
Yeah, this is the first set that we've seen.
Night Train was out for a month and a half before it saved.
Yeah, they were revealing everything and had like promos and stuff like that.
Definitely.
Okay. Well, how do you guys feel about the unisons? Ben, how you feeling about that?
I think like the way you can look at unisons is like they're a secondary leader, basically. I think that's what Bandai had in mind when they designed the card. But to me, I kind of treat it like a planeswalker for Magic.
Which is basically what it is, if
Yeah.
we're going to be honest about it.
Yes.
Very, very similar mechanics. It's almost like kind of insulting to the Magic fans to look at it. It's like, oh yeah, that's a planeswalker.
Yeah, I guess, I don't know, because no other game really has something like that, right?
I think Forcible has something.
Forcible has like a J ruler, and then you
Yeah.
summon your units, but like that, like the J.
But those are
ruler,
more like vanguards, I would say.
Yeah, the
no?
J ruler is kind of like your leader equivalent.
Kind of
of
commander
this
or
game.
yeah, something like that.
All right. Do you think it's healthy for the game, Ben?
I think the way that the game was going right now, if they didn't introduce or try to introduce a mechanic like this, we would be oppressed with other effects like double strike, triple attack, crit, and then like we have leaders dying on turn like 3 or 5 because they have nothing else to soak damage from these attacks.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's where the card. That's honestly, I personally feel that's where the card creep was going at that point. So by like playing these unisons, you can kind of, even if your opponent's playing an aggro deck, they have to kind of choose like, do I let this unison stay alive or do I put pressure on the leader, because they're both powerful in their own right.
It's understandable. Unison's something that I find. Bandai definitely did this on purpose. There's a lot of negates, a lot of battle cards that say specifically your leader or a battle card. And so unisons just fly free at a lot of the times.
Well, for now, because we're assuming.
Well, for now, I know, because they weren't playing unisons before. However, they're pretty powerful in that regard, I'd say. I don't think since unisons came out, I haven't run them in a deck. Personally, I don't think I have. How about you, Jake?
Unisons, I think, really going on with what Ben was saying. I think unisons actually helped monocolor decks a lot. It's helped with the speed, helped with the process. The free counterplays and package with the unison stuff can really race some of these multicolor decks.
Mm-hmm.
That what they were really aiming to do is just have value. Turn 1, turn 2, turn 3, turn 4. The monocolor decks almost outrace these multicolor decks because they are able to do their things turn 1. I mean, Demigra, Unison, Sorcerer Unison,
Mm-hmm.
turn 1 Unison, make him a 15k
And
if
also,
I'm second.
Is it Gogeta? Yeah, for
Gogeta's
for
2.
Jax. Yep.
Yeah. He is the only one that costs 1.
Mm-hmm. I mean, he does only have 5k, to be fair.
Yeah, but he makes himself a 15k.
On your turn, to be fair. But
Yeah,
I
yeah.
mean, he's pretty good.
I mean, when you're only using.
I didn't like him when I first read him, and then in actual playtesting, I'm like, oh wow, this is amazing.
In actual plays, he's amazing because
Yeah.
his permanent effect is what's really valuable. You can have him stay on board if your whole play is to get the unisons on board. Have charismatic villain backup.
Oh yeah, that's what I kind of noticed through unisons too. Like they're not getting their value off of their marker abilities; they're getting value off their static abilities and their other permanent effects.
Mm-hmm. Something I want to mention too that Jake brought up, I thought was interesting. Something also that I missed completely is there was no multicolor cards when I was first playing. Obviously, I don't know when did they introduce that. Do you
Set
guys-
7 is when they first.
Oh, so that's
introduced
semi-recent?
Assault of the Saiyans. I
Okay.
believe.
So, Jake, you were talking about how unisons gave mono colors that big push that it sounds like they needed. Before the unisons came out, was dual color decks where they just ramp it?
Yeah, and then like you kind of had like a Predator, Enter 21 Predator. She
Mhm.
had an ability. She's banned now, but she had an ability where she could like ignore a barrier and all your opponent's monocolored cards and energy, and then just shuffle all that back into the deck. So it kind of really deterred people from playing a monocolor just for that
Yes,
card's
I
existence.
have heard about the infamous Android 21.
Imagine that getting played on you. Do you cry? Do you just like I quit Dragon Ball Super?
I
Like,
just
what do you do?
if a card like that was running rampant, which it sounds like it was, I would not be playing a monocolor deck whatsoever.
It was all mostly hype. No one really played it. It
I
was
mean,
mostly
it's got to
just
be
because
more than the hype if it got banned, though.
it
no?
was just because of its existence.
It does stop mono
existed.
decks.
Yeah, it did, exactly.
Right.
Just because of that. Like I don't think anyone was really playing.
They were
it,
at
but
least sideboarding it. Like I know, Surge Piccolo was definitely sideboarding it in some fashion.
That's what gave it the edge. That's
Fair.
why Green Blue was on the edge at the time. But now with Unisons, it made it a little faster for monocolored decks. So like you have all these. So that's why I was saying before. The controversial topic I was saying before was that you can win with any deck is because now with Unisons you can play older set leaders. I've seen Champa, I've seen Broly, I've seen Pan now. I've seen like all these older set leaders with Unisons that just ramp them up and make them really, really strong. And you have all these generic good stuff that come out from set 9, set 10 that you can always incorporate, like the black stuff from set 10. Like the one Bardock, the one that has unique and he's red. If you lead the card is red, if your opponent took damage, either by crit or by regular damage, you can play him for free. And he's a 15k double strike. And
that card is sick.
Oh my god.
Disgusting. You can negate his attack and he's going to be like, that's cool, I'll just restand.
Yeah. There's no way to outplay him unless you're KOing him outright by negating an effect or KOing it.
Or negating, like you said, negating his effect.
There's no way around him. And he makes it so tough, makes it so weird for you to activate any counter ability. It's any counter ability, so it affects counter plays as well.
That's awesome.
So it affects any sort of play you have on your turn.
Yeah, I kept reading that card more and more, and I forgot I play a red deck now, technically, like a red leader.
You need 4 of those. 100%.
I have them because they're only uncommon.
Yeah.
And I was like, how did I not put this in the deck? Like, duh. You know what I mean? It's just, like you said, I noticed in this game, any free play card is usually almost always good. Am I wrong in saying that? I mean, part of the reason U3 got banned. No. It's just free cards. Free attacks.
Yeah, it was like infinitely. Like VJX would have like 10 attack turns.
Yeah.
Yeah, they had more attacks than like Black Boo did at one point. And then Black Boo was running the U3 engine on top of that.
I was trying to do that, but then they banned it before I was able to do that. So
yeah, we had the cards in the mail. That was a good time.
Literally, we bought the cards, and 2 days after, they were like, "Hey, it's banned."
Yeah, I was like, whatever.
I understand why. People were being degenerates. People were just trying to break the game.
Exactly.
But that's not what the original intent was for. But people found a way to break the game. And unfortunately, that's what happens.
To backtrack a little bit, me personally, I like Unisons. I think it gives a different dimension to the decks. I think it's a unique mechanic. Well, when I say unique, I mean unique to Super.
Yeah.
It's just something different. I think, over time, they'll test things out and make it better than what it is right now. Maybe more fair. I wouldn't say they're unfair right now. They are very strong, however.
So which one will be the strongest?
So I don't really have a strongest one personally. I can talk about my favorite one. I like the red Shenron. I like minusing anything on the board, and I like looking at my opponent's hand. And that does both. And then it also, all your red cards can attack active mode cards. What?
Yeah, so if
that's so good.
Yeah, and it includes your leader too. And it says red cards.
Yeah, it says red cards.
All your cards.
Red cards. So that's my favorite personally right now.
So Shenron, not a bad pick.
Yeah. When it comes to the mechanics of Unison, the one last thing I'll say about it, the only thing I'm a little iffy on is being able to cast your Unison, or I don't know, what's the term of this game? Summon? Play? Oh, sorry. Play your Unison, and it has an effect that you take 4 markers off. You can play it for 4, and then auto kill itself, minusing 4 to use that effect.
Yeah, then just play another one right after.
I don't know if that's fair, let's say. I feel like that's a little weird. You're basically paying 4 for an extra card.
You're paying 4 energy for like an extra card, yeah, but you're also sacrificing that Unison.
Right. I just think they weren't meant to be played that way.
No. That's for greedy players, but that's what happens.
I mean, sometimes it's the best play, though.
It is the best play. I mean, you do what you gotta do.
Right. So, yeah, red Shenron for me. What about you, Ben?
I mean, I've only really been playing around with one at the moment. It was the Gogeta Unison.
And that's pretty solid.
Yeah, he's pretty good. I like the fact that you could just uptick him and you don't have to discard 2. And his permanent ability allows me to tap out on turn 2, just play him and then push. And then my leader's a 15k, or if I win, he's a 20k. But I would say one of my other favorites that I've read, it has to be the Golden Frieza, the green one.
Mm-hmm.
I just hand control decks.
I bet you do, Ben.
Yeah, I just
bet you do.
making sure my opponent doesn't have cards in their hand.
You're that guy. I'm not mad at you. Wins games.
It does.
Jake, what about you? What Unison you just really feeling right now?
Oh boy, I think green had the best Unisons coming out of the set.
Green had a lot of good stuff coming out of the set.
I've been playing a lot of untap since the cards got released. So I got accustomed to the Unisons very early. The card I got played against a lot was Bardock, and Bardock stiffs you in the back a lot. His auto ability is so passive; it's kind of like you forget about it. That's why it's so good. It's because on your turn and my turn, if you combo with a card, it could be any card. I can choose it. It doesn't have to be on your turn. I can choose whatever combo it is and play it in the drop area. So it hurts black aggro because I can get rid of their Bobbity combo or Bibbity or whatever, and removes double strike. The ability for them to get surprised by double strike, it removes that ability immediately.
Or like if I try to chop or
they try to double strike me. In the middle of that, I can just activate Bardock ability to remove the double strike. The combo off. He still gains double strike, but he loses to 10k.
Yeah, which is basically they paid one for a double strike.
Yep. Yeah, how do you feel about that?
Yeah, pretty nice. If we're gonna be honest.
And honestly, I won a lot of games with Bardock.
Yeah.
Just giving him 20, plus 5k, making him a 20k, and triple strike or triple attack wins games. If I pull him late game, he's pretty much how I win, because my opponents don't really have a response to that. Flying Nimbus, okay, sure.
Yeah, it's still good.
Yeah, I'll attack 3 times. Sure.
So, since we're talking about Unisons, we're talking about our favorites and some decks that we piled up. How do you guys feel about this format right now? What's going on? Jake, hear me out. What's going on?
So, the format's wide open, folks. It says wide open as a baseball stadium.
You heard it here first, ladies and gentlemen. It is wide open.
There's just so many decks out there that people can play for cheap, most importantly, as of right now.
Mm-hmm. You can build a strong peel-off deck for pretty cheap.
Peel-off deck for the amount of a Burger King meal, honestly.
Wow.
With 10 bucks.
I'm definitely going to call Peel-off the BK meal now.
For real, because that's pretty much how much you spend for the deck.
Oh my God. Because it's commons and uncommons?
It's literally commons and uncommons, and it's so competitive.
Rows.
It's so competitive.
Yeah, it's just, like I always tell Pete, I'm like, listen, you play energy, you play another one, you turn 3, ooga booga.
Ooga booga time. Yeah, let's go. 5 attacks, 1 turn. Let's do it.
Yeah, it's crazy.
It's impressive sometimes.
Yeah, it's sad times for your opponent.
Alright, so if that's what you believe about the format that is super open, the question is, what are you playing right now?
Oh my God, there's I can't sleep at night because I'm thinking of too many things, too many deck lists,
too many decks,
too many leaders to try, too many leaders to spice up. But one secret thing that I've been working on low key is set 1 Broly, mono green. Bardock is very good. Vegeta the Lone Prince, the uncommon super combo for green, is retarded. 1 drop 4k. When he enters play, my opponent discards 1 card from the hand. And he's a super combo, so when my life is at 4 life or less, I draw 1 card when I combo with him. And he's a 0 for 10k.
Can't go wrong.
And I'll play him when Bardock's out. I'll discard another card with Bardock's effect, because Bardock's effect, when you plus him, KO of a green battle card on your side that costs 1. And then when you do that, your opponent discards 1 card from the hand. So that's just extra pluses, right?
Extra pluses.
And then what I didn't realize was that the Salt of Saiyans 8 drop that came out, when you discard it from the Broly effect, you can cut yourself twice. You can awaken yourself by turn 2, turn 3, really, and then just sit with just hand advantage. And then you have I play counterplay stuff, and then you have Kakunzo, and she's very good. She's pretty much the topo for green. Negate the attack and then KO a battle card on your opponent's side of the field.
Oh, she's beautiful.
Does she have a barrier too?
No, she does not, unfortunately. She'd be too broken.
You can't have the world, alright?
But
I just had...
Yeah.
Come
I
on.
don't affect anything else. I mean, yeah, let's be real. That's broken. 2 drop 20k? Too good.
And she has crit, right?
Nope, she's just a single 20k.
That's alright, it's still in your mouth.
Yeah, it still won't hurt.
Yeah.
Okay. That's a very interesting concept on the format. And a sleeper deck, probably by many.
I've been playing Boo.
You have been playing Boo for a while.
Boo is just one of those decks where it's like, if I don't have a sequence right against you, there's nothing that can go wrong for me. And that's kind of wild, right? Because this whole game is about luck and chance and luck of the draw. But I'll sequence it correctly, and there's no way you can beat Boo.
Yeah, and technically, as long as you get a 1-drop, obviously, even if your opponent's trying to discard your whole hand, you kind of don't care, no?
You don't care. You defend early. You don't care about hand destruction. What you really want to do is you want to see your combo as soon as possible, really.
Of course, yeah.
So your 2 drop into your 4 drop into your 2 5 drops into your 6 drops.
Mm-hmm.
So if you do the sequencing correctly, you have 1 drop utilities like the 1 drop boot that searches the other boos out. You have the Bobbity that is able to play the 2 drop from the drop area. Those 1 drops, and I play Black Masse in the deck, which affects VJX and all types of other decks that are playing free 15Ks, you know? It affects that too. So, realistically, you play all those 1 drops and you just keep attacking with them, and you gain value and by just discarding them, adding the combo, and making the 15Ks, and have your opponent to either deal with them or take life. Either way, that's fine with it. You're fine with either result. It doesn't matter.
Mm-hmm.
Because either way, the end result is going to be the same. You losing to the 6 drop. Because you can't draw unless it's a leader effect. It's a rest mode.
Yeah, I have to admit, when you were playing Boo for a while, and I was playing versus you, even though I just kind of got back into the game, I was curious why more people weren't playing that deck. Even after playing like the quote-unquote best decks of the format, I thought Boo is just, it's solid. You know what I mean? You, like you say, you really don't care what your opponent's doing that much, because as long as you do what you're doing, which most of the time you're going to do what you're doing, and level up, you know, go to the one, was it when you go 1, 2, 4,
the whole
6,
thing
8.
is that you want recursion.
I think what the main problem with when it comes to like possibly what you're saying, like the lack of Boo, is in my opinion, Boo's a strong deck, and it was competing with Vajix. And what happened was Vajix had just better attacks, but the thing now is like Boo can step on the gas on turn like 2 or 3, and you're gold. Like, I feel like a lot of people have a hard time knowing when to step on the gas, like playing true aggro like that.
Well, of course, it's not, you know, that simple where anybody can take up the deck.
Yeah.
You know, and maybe they'll get a couple free wins here and there, but that separates people that go far in tournaments and people who scrub out sometimes. So it's a good point of view.
The biggest con of the deck is counterplay. It has no counterplay, almost.
Yeah, because it has no space. You don't want cards in your hand, which is understandable.
Yeah.
It's a double-edged sword.
So the biggest thing also to the deck is successor decks. Decks that are able to rep out big boss monsters pretty early. And because Boo doesn't care about what the opponent's doing. So most of the time, it doesn't really have a response to what the opponents are doing. If it's big enough, like a 4, 5, 6, 7, whatever. So the Boo doesn't really have a response or anything like that. So he kind of loses to big monsters that way. So that's probably the biggest con. So that kind of drives people off.
In your opinion, from playing the deck, does Boog really care about if there's a unison on board or not, or does it just go straight for the leader's throat every time?
So it depends. When you're playing against VJX, you care about the unison. You want to attack the unison, but you don't want to kill the unison. You want to attack enough to where it doesn't get the dual attack off. The dual attack double strike off.
Right.
You want to attack enough to where they have to keep it alive, because that's their end game. Their leader's effect is literally based off of their unison. So they discard a card every time, which means they have less cards in their hand to defend. Which means that you are just going to be golden in that front. Less opportunities for them to defend themselves against your attacks at the end, right?
Correct.
So, but then like Gogeta, for example, you don't really care. Like Yellow Vegeta, you don't really care about. He gives them extra plus 5k. You don't really care about that either, because Black is so powerful when it comes to combo power. I've comboed 100 plus. Like, there were times where I was able to defend myself consistently just because of just sheer combo power. And that's what Black has.
Okay. Ben, what's your format in your head looking like right now? What do you think are some of the best decks going forward?
I think the format's pretty open. At the same time, there are... Like, you can play what you want, but of course, like, there are going to be decks that have the small edge over other ones just because of the way cards interact with leader and things like that. But, like, yeah, I feel like you can just pretty much play whatever you want and then just go try to jam out games and then save up for buying the cards that you actually need to possibly play competitively later. But yeah, I say it's pretty open. Just play what you want. Pick a leader, throw a dart at a dartboard, pick a leader. You probably make a decent deck out of it.
I like that. I like that a lot. I like variety. The only thing is, and a bad part for me, is since I miss so much, I like to know everything that I'm playing against, and there's so many decks that I could be playing against. That's the only time I'm like, damn, I miss so much. Why did I leave? I'm like, ah, awful. I fuck that job. Anyways,
it pays to keep up, you know.
Yes,
It pays to know your homework.
I see what you did there.
To do your homework.
So another This Is Open format. So what's your favorite deck right now? What are you playing? What are you playing right now?
I'd say right now my favorite deck is like yellow. I like mono yellow. I read Gotenks and I like the fusion stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of built my deck a little differently than what people are trying to do, mainly because I don't have money. Like that's basically what it boils down to. I don't have money to buy basils and
right. I mean, it's on the list. It's just you don't have it right now.
Yeah.
That's fine. That's all right. And the Gogeta deck, that's basically what you've been rocking with for a while now.
Yeah, I like Gotenks.
Since it came out.
Yeah, basically, I've tried a few builds. I was trying to play red yellow for a little while. I do think like you can play him in any build you want. He's very versatile, like the old yellow the old yellow Broly leader was. I kind of like he's the newer, fresher version of that.
Okay. All right. Me personally, I would say the format is open as well for a lot of decks. The decks I personally worry about is obviously I'll always say I worry about Invoker.
Fair enough.
Peel off, yes and no. I know it's new. However, it's
so annoying.
If you have the cards, it's very hard to defend against. Like you have to have counterplay.
You take every other attack.
Yeah,
it's rough.
You take every other attack and then just hope for some negates, some super combos on it.
I mean, I know Fajex is still good. That's one of the decks I'm playing myself. However, obviously it's not tier like 0.5 as it was before.
Yeah.
It's not as crazy. So
it kind of turned from like an aggro to a mid range.
It's more fair, I would say.
It's still topping though. Surprisingly
It is still topping. It's seen a lot of play with a boot package or with.
How do you feel about that?
So I understand the logic because they're just like aggressive. That's what they want to do, which makes sense. On paper it does, and obviously it has been working. I think the Fajex stuff is just more utility though.
Yeah.
And I like utility personally, so I would play that just because I don't know, the Fajex Boo probably is good against a lot of decks, but auto loses I bet to a deck or two that I can't think of it right now. With the
maybe Topo,
or Hatch. And then with the Fajex, you could literally across the board probably have a decent matchup at least, or a good matchup, I'd say.
So your worst matchup with Potara VJX would be arguably Hand Destruction, right?
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah, I mean it's one of those.
Or a deck that puts like a lot of counter plays.
You could play without it technically, like if they got rid of all that stuff. I mean, you still have damage on board with your, you
still get free stuff. Yeah.
You still get the free stuff. So yeah, that would be annoying though for sure. I never like playing against Hand Destruction decks ever. So that's a thing. What other decks? I want to say Gotenks is also really good. And am I forgetting anything else? I don't think so.
I was thinking about Black Mass Saiyan. Do you remember that one?
I was going to bring that up. Thank you, though.
Oh, that's interesting.
Black Mass Saiyan, the first black leader that came out, with Mill 3. Now with the new stuff that came out that supports Black Saiyan leaders.
That could be arguably your better aggro version.
You can play the upper limit. You can play like a 60-card deck. Just make it like 3
maybe
colors.
Maybe not. Hear me out though.
I mean, you're going to mill 3 every turn.
Hear me out. So I thought about the Mass Saiyan, and if you build it, you can't build it like Fajex exactly. Because it only mills 3 a turn. That's it. Only 3, and that's on both sides. So it's a little weaker in the mill aspect. I would still play the mill cards, of course.
Yeah.
I'm saying you can't build it exactly the same though. It's definitely needs something else to push it there.
You could use like the Shenron Unison possibly.
A card that would be perfect for the deck which we're theorizing right now would be the Vegeta, the one that overrun 3 when it enters play you mill the top 3. So like a continuous mill effect.
Oh yeah, I would actually play that in Fajex.
Yeah.
That's the only other overrun I played besides the Trunks one, which everybody plays, and then the Vegeta.
I would play Black and Red for the Mass Saiyan.
Isn't there a Black Mass Saiyan? not the Vegeta, not the Bardock one. He has a burst 5 effect, doesn't he?
No, that's the one I was talking about. That burst 3.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
The one I was talking about was one that with the crit at plus 5k.
Yep.
That's what I was talking about.
Yep, that's the old school Bardock.
The
I
old
played that deck
school.
last time I played. That was a good deck.
Black Red, but then you played Draft Box Topo,
Yeah.
and like that card's bonkers, right? And then you just like keep aggroing out your opponent, double strike critting them to oblivion.
Yeah, it's possible. I think it's something to mess with if you really want to. Yeah, that's... I don't know. I feel this game is interesting in the fact there is so many good cards and so many good leaders. I think there's a few that maybe outshine more, but it could be people are just playing them more as well. You know? Something I was thinking about too, you know how there's triangle formats in a lot of card games?
Yep.
And then I would say DBS is definitely a more generically open format, especially right now. How do you guys feel about that personally? Do you like the triangle format, or do you like the open format more?
In terms of deck building,
Yeah,
I like triangle formats personally because I can prepare for a popular deck that I'm going
Yes.
to lose to, and I can play against that to get better at the matchup. Because like triangle format is a little bit just rock paper scissors. At the end of the day, it's kind of like how you would look at it, right?
yeah, it's rock paper scissors, and then obviously you can build other decks that just have to counterplay those decks.
Yeah. So in terms of like deck building and theory crafting, like you have that core, and then you can tech in and out like your stuff, like your personal things. But for my wallet, triangle format isn't the best thing because these cards are going to be, more sought after.
High price, yeah.
Yeah, they're going to be higher price, of course.
Of course. That's understandable. How do you feel about those formats, Jake?
So, very similar to what Ben was saying, it's easier to prepare for events with triangle formats.
Mm-hmm.
But the thing is, where's the spontaneous aspect of it? Where's the, oh my god, I don't know who I'm going to play against next round. I have no idea who I'm going to play against next round. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to bring this and I have no idea how this is going to do. People are just afraid, honestly.
Yeah, you could literally go into a tournament right now if they had them, and if there was 50 people, you could play against. I bet you're playing. There's like 30 decks in the tournament.
So
You'll probably
guaranteed,
play at least 5 different decks. In around 8
guaranteed,
rounds.
yeah, I would say
And
that
out of, like,
5
8 rounds.
different decks. Yeah, I would.
And
think,
that's really good variety.
Oh yeah, 100%. And I only hope that doesn't get better. And I think where it starts is the uncommons getting stronger, like we saw this set.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Just many
More access to super rares that you need.
yes, more reprints is what we need. More reprints.
Yes, absolutely.
Just reprints to cards that we just absolutely need in yellow and green and black and every other color. People just need to play. Like we just need to play.
Yeah, honestly, yeah. I
And at the
I agree with both you guys in the aspect. Sorry, Ben, to cut you off. I agree in the aspect. It is easier to prepare if there's a triangle format because there's 3 decks. You either play one of those 3 decks or you play a deck that counters those decks. Like I was saying, on paper it's easy, and if you're good with the mirror match, that also helps you if you're playing one of the 3 decks, which you have to be. So it's easier. I think it's more fun though when everything's open.
I agree.
I like, even though it drives me crazy, and I don't know every deck right now, eventually I'd probably know generically most of the decks. So
Yeah.
it just takes more effort, I guess I would say, because you got to prepare for so much, and that's what your side deck's for.
Yeah, you have to look at the format like a wider scope
Yeah,
instead of just focusing in on these certain decks.
Exactly, and I never liked having to main deck, in my opinion, quote unquote, side deck cards. That annoys me. Because I feel you're taking creativity out of my main deck just because I have to play certain cards for your deck.
Pretty much, yeah.
I mean, I'm cool with signing them because it's the matchup. If I have to main deck like a play set of cards for one deck in the format, that hurts my soul a little bit every time.
Just the hate cards that you need just to survive,
Yeah, it's like, you mean I'm going to play $100 for this play set against one deck that's the best in the format?
Tell me,
Why?
I have to play some Masters of Super Combo just because of Reboot Gohan, but why?
Yeah, it's like, come on, I don't like that. So that's personally how I feel about the format in general.
There's nothing wrong with that. I like the spontaneity of it.
Speaking of format per se, can we just agree that for a while now we're in a quote unquote COVID format?
Kind of like
we're
that.
we're in the COVID format.
I call it the umbrella format. Get it?
Wow! Shout out to Resident Evil.
Okay.
So yeah, it just we've experienced our locals just opened back up. What about a month? 3
like
weeks
2 or
ago?
3 weeks ago.
3
yeah.
weeks ago, our locals just opened back up.
So a fresh band-aid wound.
Yeah, and we've went a couple times, and we've had good experiences. It just sucks because we have to be so far apart, and we can't really read our opponent's cards. We're not supposed to touch their deck. Everybody has masks
The
on.
tables
of
are
course.
literally a mile apart.
The tables are so far apart. There's hand sanitizer everywhere. We're all clean and stuff and healthy about it.
My eyes are just not that good.
Yeah, sometimes it sucks because especially when a new set's out, not everybody reads their cards fully the first time. So
Or
sometimes,
like knows how cards interact with other cards.
yeah, it just sucks not being able to read your opponent's cards. So I think that's the most annoying aspect for me.
Makes it awkward to touch cards too, right?
Yeah, you're not supposed to touch whatsoever.
Well, Majin Buu absorbs cards, so I had no choice.
Yeah, they're supposed to just basically hand it to you over there and you don't touch it.
Right.
It's an inconvenience. It's a necessary inconvenience. It does suck. I am happy we're playing again at least though, because
It's good practice.
what do you guys have anything to add about playing in the store or how it's been for us?
I feel like we kind of have it lucky compared to other people right now because we have the ability to go to a local every
Yeah,
week.
at least we do have a local.
Yeah, because I personally don't really find testing online that really effective testing because of RNG statistics on an algorithm as opposed to my opponents shuffling my deck a different way every time.
It is technically different RNG statistics. However, I like to look at online as if you don't know all the cards too, you just get used to playing with your cards. You get used to playing with the opponent's cards. So obviously it is different, and I can understand that aspect.
But if that's the only thing you can do and you enjoy playing online, go do that. Support your game. Support online
absolutely.
tournaments. If you have the ability to play in these online tournaments, go do that 100%.
I mean, I know most of them are best of one, so that bugs me personally.
Oh, that brings me back to Pansy.
It's just playing online takes a lot of time.
Yeah, so I understand why they do
If you
best
play
of one.
on Untap, you would know what I mean.
Oh,
One
yeah, of
game
course.
takes you about a half hour at most, and it's not
At least.
because you guys are slow. It's just doing the actions of the game,
yeah.
and sometimes the website crashes.
Yeah,
so it's
it's not the most reliable. However, it's there. And
I
it's free.
appreciate Untap.
It's
It
free.
made me a better player.
I appreciate the people putting in effort to keep
Absolutely.
the game that they love alive on these other platforms that we're
Yeah.
lucky to have access to.
Yeah, it could be a lot worse, and I'd rather play it than not play. Online, I don't like playing personally. I will play with friends, and if there's literally no other tournaments, then I will suck it up and play on Untap. But we don't have to at the moment.
Not at the moment. No. We're lucky enough that they decided to hey, let's be open.
Yeah. So Jake, you've actually played in a couple Untapped tournaments recently, no?
I did. I buckled up and I was a little scared. I thought it would be a rip-off. I thought it would suck. But it was surprisingly smooth. I played the entire
And that was
tournament.
a core TTG?
So I participated in the premier online event for PPG that happened a couple of weeks ago. I went 2-3 playing Lord Slug. I believe it was mono green. I did fill out a tournament report for it, pretty much, documenting my record and such and what my matchups were.
Yeah, what did you play against during that time?
Essentially, it was different leaders every single time. I did not play a repeat leader. That was the one thing that I noticed.
You heard that? 5 games, 5
Different leaders.
Different leaders.
Absolutely, and they were all different colors.
That's awesome.
The first leader I played against was Hatchiak, and I was crying internally the entire game
Of course you were.
because I saw the U3 engine and I was crying because the U3 engine is so efficient and
Oh my
I
God.
Was he playing the planet that mills them too?
No,
or
he wasn't. He wasn't
Oh.
playing that. He was playing just the U3 engine. He was just trying to get into the 6 star as fast as possible with less energy, But I did wind up winning that game because of Bardock, the Unison.
That's funny.
I killed him with triple attack, which I was telling you earlier when that was pretty good. Round 2, I played against Dredgeku. Dredgeku is really strong, and I lost to it because he kept looping Master Roshi into Sail's Earth Destroying Kamehameha and kept discarding cards from my hand, and then it didn't affect Bardock's auto because it wasn't a combo.
Okay.
The third one was Topo. I lost because he black smoke dragoned me.
Yikes. Get wrecked.
Fourth round, I lost against Reboot Gohan. What can I say? It's Reboot Gohan. I lost in like round. What was it?
Like turn 2 or
turn
3?
Turn 3. Yeah.
Yikes.
The fifth round, I played against Burnhan. So it was the
remember that
Alliance Gohan.
And is that the leader from Assault of the Saiyans? Like it's Gohan and Gosei.
Yeah, it
on
was the Alliance leader.
Yeah, that leader's really like low key good. Like people were trying to do it with like the Flash triple step Super Saiyan Goku.
Yeah, that deck is good. It's solid.
So he was trying to burn me out early, but I was able to swarm the field and able to catch up like Akusa and Shocking Death Ball and stuff. And then I Bardocked him again to win. Bardock is just too good. 20k triple strike, like you can't beat that. Or triple attack, so you can't really beat that. And then Ribrianne is just too good. Draft box Ribrianne, discard 2.
Yeah, that's a good card.
A really expensive card. Cha-ching! Hey Bandai, reprint those cards.
Someday.
No hurries.
Speaking of reprints, that artwork though, huh? How do you guys feel about that? That
the
artwork.
drip. The drip.
I'm always happy for reprints in this game. You know me, so.
Especially when like it comes to cards that like people need to play, or like cards that I've seen a lot of play in competitive decks.
I almost don't want to play them because of how pristine they look. I just kind of want to hang them up on my wall. I just admire them, like in the bathroom.
In the bathroom, just chilling.
Just admire them.
Gently caress it.
Oh, we forgot about the cookies. Oh no.
Well, we got cookies after.
You're right.
We got cookies after, Kevin. It's alright.
Oh, sorry, I had to.
Sorry for the fans at home who do not have cookies.
Yeah, we have cookies. So, what am I thinking now? So, the deck I was looking into was Broly Surge. That and Fidgex. That's what I'm thinking of playing next format.
Okay.
I think it's pretty good decks.
I like Broly Surge.
Do you guys think they are gonna have regional upper scale level events? When's the closest timing you think, realistically,
Probably
in our country?
I'd say realistically, like maybe fall of next year.
I would cry.
You know, Jake, I know you. You kind of coughed at it. However, I don't think he's wrong.
Oh God! I hope you're wrong, man.
No, listen. We all hope he's wrong. I mean, realistically, we want everyone to stay safe out there. Let's put that first and foremost. Wash yourself. Like, come on.
Yeah, dust yourself in a hot shower. Don't come outside.
Just take care of yourself. Wash yourself. Wear a mask. Hand sanitizer. All that good stuff.
Jump your showers.
Jake can't handle himself right now. But I'm being for real. Like, everyone needs to take care of themselves. Amen. That's all I'm saying. The sooner that happens, the sooner we can get back to playing Dragon Ball Super. I'm not playing all you guys that play Super, don't get me wrong. Because there's some
This is no way in hate towards the people who refuse to take showers.
Well, I have an issue with that. How are you going to wash yourself? How are you going to be clean?
What if they thought about taking showers?
They thought about taking showers. Jake, I can't with you right now. I can't. He's off the deep end.
I feel like we're not talking about Super no more.
Listen, I'm saying I hope.
You said wash yourself, so I don't know.
For real. Yeah, I just hope everything clears up soon. I don't think it will, unfortunately. I'm just hoping.
Here's the Jake's prediction. Next year, I think another round of COVID is bound our way because Def likes to laugh. And
people don't wash themselves.
I also think that people don't wash themselves. That's right. Because at least during the summertime, people have the fire hydrants and stuff.
Oh, so you want an episode like we're in Hey Arnold? That's what you're telling me? We're gonna be outside. It's gonna be a snow day.
Or we're in downtown Harlem with the fire hydrant.
Downtown Harlem.
You can drive
PS 113, and we just have a fire hydrant going.
You can drive by to all the local suburban homes that have the fire sprinklers and just drive with the windows down.
I feel like this is more of a flashback at this point.
Yeah.
Jacob's just, he's out of control.
My spleen hurts.
Oh man.
Yeah, we had that right. We had
So
that.
I hope you guys are laughing at this. By the way, if you're still listening, shout out to you guys. You guys are real. I don't even want to call you guys fans. I want to call you guys also super friends.
You guys are our friends. Hopefully.
Yeah, if you don't like me, well, that sucks. I don't know what to tell you.
For you.
Yeah, I don't know what to tell you. So
Next.
I hope we can see and play with a lot of people soon. Discuss the game mechanics. I hope we do this as a regular thing. That's the plan.
Yeah.
We don't know what day exactly. Mondays are usually pretty good for me. Or whenever we put this up, quote unquote.
Yeah, or whenever it uploads.
Honestly, we're just trying to. Hopefully, we're trying to do more than just a podcast. Like, I want to do like
Yeah, we're talking about maybe potentially live duels or
live duels, like
deck
profiles,
discussions.
articles. Yeah. Let's
if you
just-
really want openings, we'll do that. I've never been a fan personally, but hey,
Keep a lookout. We're probably gonna possibly do a Facebook page, so keep a lookout for that.
oh
as
yes,
well.
yes. I'll post that in the description if we end up
the
doing
person who opens the packs need to have delicate hands.
it. Yeah, wear gloves.
We're the COVID-19 edition.
Yo, shh.
And then we can like.
Okay. Just
I don't know anymore, man.
this is
He is out
this
of
is
his
what you're
chair.
listening to. Yeah, Jake fell out of his chair. Jake literally just fell out of his chair. I can't even with him right now.
Gravity.
Before I wrap this up, my good gentleman, is there anything you want to say? Any shout outs? Just anything?
I want to shout out to the guest who was supposed to appear today, Marcus Cantarsi. I'm so sorry we failed you. Kevin, here goes Kevin.
Wow. Did you not tell him about it?
So here's the thing. We decided on a day and then we just didn't do it.
Oh,
He never received a call from me. I kind of ushered him. You don't got to go.
Marcus.
It's okay, girl.
This is Kevin of the Dragon Ball Super Friends. I apologize on behalf of Jake, and we hope to have you on sometime soon. Because I don't know you, but from what I hear and what I've seen, you seem like a nice guy.
Marcus has been doing really impressive work lately.
Yeah, I mean, hey, pretty much anyone can be a guest on our show. I mean, we have a pretty elite guest from back in the day, at least in my opinion.
Oh yeah. And we plan to be elite once again.
Yes, sir. Anything you want to say, Ben?
If you want, you can check out the Limit Breakers channel. It's run by, I believe, I'm gonna call my team captain, Chad.
Yo, shout out to Chad,
Shout out to Chad.
the boogeyman.
So if you want some more content, we have some stuff we haven't posted in a while because COVID. But if you just look itching for some more super content, head over there.
All right, awesome. All right, so I just want to thank you, brothers, for joining me tonight.
Thank you.
I appreciate this going down, and I can't wait till next week.
Oh yes.
Thank you for listening, by the way.
Yes,
Thank you for having ears.
let us know what you think. We want to hear your opinion too. Check us out. We'll post stuff in the group. You know where we at. You know our names.
Well, now they do.
Oh, they better. And that's all the time we have for today's, ladies and gentlemen. I got the man, the legend, Benjamin. We got also the God Destroyer,
The Jake.
and myself, Kevin. I had nothing good for that one. So,
Signing off.
until next time, always be...
Can I get a fucking oh yeah?
And cut.
That's the Dragon Ball Super Friends ASMR.